Hello, YouTube, and that's where it is. Here I am again to give you my review of Resident Evil Retribution. Movie was horrible. That's not the review, I'm just saying it was. And I'm gonna have to break it down a little. First of all, I should say I watched this movie in theaters a while ago because I wanted to see it in 3D and see how it was. The 3D was a little lackluster. It was not what I expected. It was a little better in the last movie. Depth wasn't as good as in the last movie. And I just didn't like it as much. Well, some of the things I did like was the intro. It started with a nice little rewind of, I guess, a few minutes into it. In slow motion, it looked really cool, I liked it. And then it basically stopped back to where the previous movie ended, which is really nice. Falling off from there, the rest looked a little weird. Jill looked a little weird on that, I don't know. Well, speaking of characters, since I already mentioned Jill, I might as well speak about them. Alice is fucking Alice. Some super bitch that won't fucking die. And has to outdo everyone ever in existence. Can't. It's a sad shame how she evolved from that. I really liked the first movie, and she seemed to have not as much Mary Sue-ness in it that she does now. Like, she's supposed to have no powers, and yet she still flips around and does shit like she still has the powers. Well, whatever. Fuck it. Jill, as I stated before, looked not as good as I'd hoped. Reading this Sienna Guillory was going to be Jill again was cool. And seeing that she was I guess not as cool, because this Jill said less shit in a more robotic tone, which was dumb as fuck. And it just didn't look as good. And now in Apocalypse, she looked great as Jill. And I was really entertained. I really liked it. Then there's Leon, who honestly has been said many times that he looks like a porn star version of himself, and he obviously does. But not only that, his general character and attitude isn't as good as, say, in the games. He's more of a, I don't know, I don't want to call him a scumbag, but he ain't really a scumbag. He's just some dude taking orders, but he kind of, I don't know, he says things in the movie. He has dialogue that's like so unlike Resident Evil's regular Leon. Barry, I don't want to say it looks like a porn star version of him, but it doesn't really look like nobody like him. It's just a man, doesn't even look that old, has arguably a fresh beard, looks a little Asian, I don't even know what's going on, he had like squinty eyes, and doesn't really say much throughout the movie anyway, so I really can't say much about it. It's like they just dressed some guy with a beard up as Barry and called it a day. They gave him the Magnum though, so that was a nice little nod there. Let's see, there's Ada in it. She did a great job. Miss Bing Bing, whose name I enjoy saying because it's silly, did a great job as Ada. Then we have reoccurring characters from the previous movie doing what they did before, basically. Essentially, yeah. Well, other than that, well, the acting was, actually, it was pretty terrible, honestly. Either there was like one-liners out the ass. They were all terrible. Half the time, they just sounded like, you know, fill in word to the silence and shit that they're doing. It's just like, here you go, here's a gun, you're gonna kill him, say something. Just fucking say something. And that's what they did. And then there's this dialogue with Leon and Mia, and it just fucking sucks ass. It was this terrible dialogue. And it was just Leon trying to persuade Mia's character to not save some random cloned little girl that has no business in existing or to be cared for, because there's like a 50 million of them anyways. And even though that's something Leon and like a real Leon wouldn't do, it's still like, seriously, fuck that kid. In fact, you know what? There's clones all over this shit. Too many clones. I don't quite understand if the scenarios, well, I guess I do understand it, but the way they started it in the previous movie, that is replayed by clones in this movie, in a section. And I wonder if even like, well, I guess it did, but I don't know, I wonder if that one in the previous movie was something that actually happened, or if it was part of that section that they just liked or felt like reusing. I'm really confused about that. But other than that, I understand most of the movie. It was pretty good. It was good if you like actiony movies, literally. That's the only compliment I'm going to give you about saying it's good. If you like actiony movies that literally blow up fucking everything for no reason, then, you know, it's a decent movie. Not a decent enough movie to spend money in 3D, but it was a decent movie. Well, but yeah, fucking clones everywhere. They got clones of all the previous characters from the first movie for some reason, because, you know, the main antagonist, which is basically the Red Queen from the first movie that they reused so much shit from that first movie that it just made me sad. Way too much reusage of that. They screwed up how the Red Queen looks. She looked terrible in this movie compared to the first one, and the first one she was less detailed. And they even had her say lines from the first movie like it was some weird nod, but it sucked ass. Because it just sounded weird. The context was weird. The Red Queen trying to do the shit she does is weird. The plot itself was fucking dumb. And yeah, then there's that clone little girl. Who like, and basically in the intro of the movie, after the rewind section, which is another part I liked, they have like normal happy family life type of shit going on. And you know, there's the deaf little girl who's supposed to be the daughter of Alice, which she wakes up there having a normal life with Carlos and shit. You know, whatever. But it was entertaining because bam, zombies out of nowhere. It was funny. And then everyone died, and I hope the movie ended there. I would have been happy, actually. But yeah. Anywho, she comes across the little girl later in the movie, and then like feels some sort of kinship towards her, even though she doesn't know who the fuck she is. Little girl calls me mom, and was like, oh, I gotta take care of her. I love her. Deep feelings inside. Listen, any normal person, you see some random girl you don't know, says she's a relative of yours, starts saying like, calling you daddy or mama, they'd be like, fuck is this bitch? Who is this bitch? Why should I care? And then when you realize that she's a clone and there's like 50 million of them, shit. She's more discardable than half the ammo used in this movie. I don't even know, fuck. Well, there's a part, I'm gonna keep going with the review because I just went on a rant for no fucking reason. Well, in the movie, yeah, it all takes place in this underwater facility that has hubcaps. All those hubs are supposed to be testing areas for different areas of the world. There's one for Japan, New York, etc. Well, I've read online that it's supposed to have a video game feel to it, but I never felt that. I just saw it for what it was. But yeah, they basically move from Japan, they go take some train shit, they go to what's supposed to be a recreation of Raccoon City, or at least some suburb in Raccoon City. And I'm watching my laptop, I gotta actually go back to work. I'm in my fucking Walmart clothes. And yeah, they just move on ahead. They encounter clones of the previous members from the first movie, which is Rain, the black guy. I think Carlos was there. Okay, to be fair, when I watched this movie, it was a long time ago, then I watched a shitty torrent of it, I skipped through most of it, jacked off through half of it, so, and then like, waited a week later to make this video. I don't remember much. I have cliff notes for this review. Yeah. And basically that's what happens. They try to protect the little girl and escape. Ada sacrifices herself in a way so to let Alice go. Then they come in to another clone, which is supposed to be a civilian clone of Rain's character, or I forgot that bitch's name. Michelle Rodriguez? Yeah, Rain. Yeah. Which is... seriously, fucking clones everywhere. I'm tired of clones from... ever since like the last movie. That first segment from the last movie, it's just like, goddamn, and I knew these clones were gonna be terrible, and it's gonna suck ass. I did like the liquor. I like the liquor. They have Big Boss liquor there. And, you know, it's a movie version. I can't really hate too much. I'm not going to compare it to the games as much, except for the characters. I mean, honestly, it's gone so far bastardized from actual Resident Evil games that I honestly don't know what to make of it. It's just a fucking action movie with Resident Evil things in it done terribly. The liquor was good. Clearly, Mr. Anderson likes fucking the liquor, because he used it in almost every movie he's made. But yeah, it's a Big Boss liquor. He does weird shit, like make cocoons and be a general monster. And yeah, well, there's that. Another thing I liked was Ada's intro, actually, which also disappointed me because it's basically a recreation of Resident Evil 4's intro, which, you know, she encounters Leon, the whole flippy shit knife thing. They do that with Alice, which I felt disappointed in seeing, because I would have rather it done with the shitty version of Leon they got there. Maybe Alex could sit in the sidelines and be like, shit, doing flips and shit, think she's me. Or something. I don't know. Make her seem like a goof like she does every other fucking character. Honestly, that's about it. That's all my cliff notes are good for. I can't even read the shit. In the end, the ending showed that the movies might finally have we're finally done with after this next movie is coming out. Obviously, a next movie's coming out because that's what they led into. But it just seems so finite. Like, once in the end, this video is already full of spoilers anyway. So basically, we got Wesker. He gave Alice her fucking powers back, which is fucking shit. And, well, I guess in the movie, at this point, it works, because at the very end, fucking monsters everywhere. We got the Kiki, whatever the fuck things are, the flying creatures from Resident Evil 5 flying around. Got some shit going on. I think I saw like 50 giant lickers. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it looks like this next movie might be the end, and that'd be it. Thankfully. Best case scenario, that's done. They reboot the series with a better director that's not trying to plug his fucking wife, and, you know, make an actual Resident Evil movie. A movie about fucking survivors and shit. Overcoming horrible biological monsters, you know. Not fucking Superwoman beating the shit out of everyone and making everyone else look like a fucking silly motherfucker next to her. Well, that's my review for Resident Evil Retribution.